fine, it's fine.
But your friends seem to be all Muslim. Am I wrong in understanding?
Oh no, I've got Muslim friends. Yeah.
So, and you got Muslim family?
Yeah, I do actually.
And you're a smart guy. I've seen you. You know, but the problem is when people get in debates, like you just saw, you saw the truth in his eyes. I saw the truth in his eyes.
I don't know too much about Christian history, so yeah.
But you
made some really good arguments.
But you can see in his face, he knows the truth, but he's clutching at straws. He wants a reason to still believe, and it's understandable. Culture, religion, you grow up on it, you live in. Giving it up isn't easy. But you see the brother from all of these places, Somalia, Bangladesh, Iraq, and what's honestly, like, without debating, because I know probably you could debate, you probably beat me in the debate, who knows? But it's not about that, it's about truth.
Oh, I know it's about truth.
What stops you? You heard that discussion, that was only a bit of it.
I believe that what you said is probably right. I mean, I don't know too much about early Christian history.
Come, I'm not debating with you, please. Is my hearing is so crap?
No, I know.
Yeah, Bismillah.
But, I think from what you said, you're probably right.
Let me just ask a question here.
I think even if you may be right, that Christianity may be false, it wouldn't prove that.
Yeah, that's why I didn't try to prove Islam as thing. But my point is, like, as in all of these other. Well, I think you're a philosophy guy. I don't really follow all of this stuff. Just briefly, I don't believe, and I'm not here to debate with you. You probably murder me in a debate on philosophy. I don't care too much on it, but I don't believe philosophy, the human inquiry, can ever attain knowledge of the unseen.
Definitely can.
So we have to go use the right. It definitely can.
Definitely can.
Okay, you think it can answer all questions?
I think it can answer a lot more questions than science can.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But there are some limits, right?
Well, philosophy is always ever changing, so there are questions that are not solved.
Do you believe in what they believe in? I think some of your friends, divine simplicity.
I think if I were to believe in at least some type of classical, neoclassical God, I would accept divine simplicity.
Do you think that if we use the language of the people, then we become boxed into a set of ideas?
I think the language is used to accurately describe ideas we have. I understand what you mean.
Yeah, because once you engage in the idea using the language of someone else, you become boxed. And that's what happened with Christians, Aquinas and church fathers and the Cappadonian church fathers. But the problem we say is here, is we say God Almighty, we can't attain knowledge of the unseen, especially in regards to Himself, unless He reveals Himself. In some instances.
I think
not all. I'm not talking all.
Yeah,
but I mean,
that's
actually,
true. That's true. Like the very way in which He created the universe, we can't know that.
How does, for example, Christianity reads that God is jealous, that God has a face, God is like a man, and then say, oh, God is ethereal, He doesn't have a body, or like He's in a divine simplicity.
I don't want to get too philosophical, but when they say these things, when they predicate like these characteristics to God, they're only predicating it analogically.
But the problem is they're at that point, because they believe the Bible is inspired. They then make Plato, Aristotle, Plotinus, they make them their lords.
No, they use their ideas as grounds for further Christian thought. But they don't worship Plato.
No, I don't mean it as that. No. But the moment that they deny what's in the Bible, as in certain clear verses, I believe they give precedence to these philosophers.
No, I don't think so. I think they reinterpret the things in the Bible
under the scope, But that's wrong. But this is a very, it's good you say that. That's the point I'm making. Like as in anyone, a Trinitarian, they do try to look through this book from the biased lens, and then they come to conclusions which are erroneous.
Well, I mean, one good argument I've heard is that the reason why Christians, and I don't know, Shia Muslims, Christians and Shia Muslims, they both accept divine simplicity. It's because it gives like philosophical problems if you don't accept divine simplicity.
But it falls into philosophical problems.
Yeah, so if you don't accept...
if you accept it, you fall into problems.
If you accept divine simplicity, give me two... I know there's a modal collapse argument for divine simplicity, but that was solved by...
Another thing. But what about the argument God is His property? You know, when you say God is his attributes or God is his property, that means God is property, a'udhu billah. We don't believe.
No.
This is one of the arguments that Platon got.
No, I know, but no.
Why?
When they say like take mercy, when they say God is mercy, they're saying mercy and God is identical. You're not saying property and God.
No, but you know, attributes. Right now we said attribute, but when you look at the language they use, it's called property.
Property attribute.
Yeah, so then God is his property. And there's another one where the claps thing, but you said you can explain. Anyway, point is, from my point as a Muslim, we believe Allah has attributes, sifat. We believe that mankind doesn't know the sifat unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he teaches us the sifat. So like science has its place, philosophy has its place. The problem with the other religions, whether it's the Torah or the Bible, none of these are revelation. They don't even claim to be revelation. Inspiration maybe, they can argue. But the Quran claims to be revelation from God. One God, the worship of only one God. So this is what Islam, so this is it, the Trinity we say no.
I understand, but
because even they have the logical Trinity problem, which you know.
But they've solved those problems.
But every time you solve one problem, then you've got a host of other problems.
Sometimes that's true. In this case, the LPT.
So this is
a lot of Christians that I know personally. They've got like arguments against it. They've got like opaque contexts where they talk about how particular laws of identity are not transitive.
But what about you as a person?
Me as a person.
What stops you from Islam? Because I can't speak to you on the philosopher because I don't know.
I think I'm actually getting more and more
closer
to believing in some kind of God.
May Allah guide you.
The type of God I would believe in wouldn't be an Islamic God.
What type of God?
I think it would be like what's called a classical theist.
Okay, yeah.
So it's very, very, very different.
But don't you fall into the problem, educate me, that you're again boxing yourself. Because the Mu'tazila and the Ash'ari, which you know about, and like Ja'ad bin Dirham and Jahm bin Safwan, they say that they interacted or argued with humanist and philosophers and so on. That the problem here is that they adopted the language of Aristotle. Aristotle came with the 10 categories, placing, position, quality, quantity, having, affection, action, relation and time. Now, once you say all of these arad, which means incidents, as you know,
You mean accidents?
Incident and accident usually is used synonymously as well.
I'm familiar with Aristotle says there are proper accidents.
Yeah, so these are 10 categories, ashara maqulat,
There's 4 main categories.
So the Muslims absorb, some Muslims, and this is why we say it's heretical, they absorb these ideas and then they say these arad, Allah can't have this. Because Aristotle told us that these are accidents.
It's not like Aristotle is like telling you. Aristotle's making arguments.
For syllogisms,
Yeah, but obviously what happens is the arguments, they are true. These arguments, look, if you deny particular things that Aristotle says, then your belief system just doesn't make any sense. Like Aristotle would say, for example, all things are composed of matter and form. That's true. If they're not composed of matter and form, what do you
No, but then again, they say things like this, as you know, there's a world of forms.
Oh, that's Plato, that's not Aristotle.
Yeah, that's Plato, Oh, you believe everything that Aristotle...
Oh, no, there's difference.
Of course,
Both Aristotle and
But my point is that they can err. They can make mistake.
Of course they can. We can only do what we can, or we can only go off what we know. What we know is all the things we discover. Like, no one would ever claim that just because the Bible or the Quran has never said squared circles can't exist.
Squared circles can't exist.
Yeah.
It means you're saying it could exist.
Can't.
Okay.
But I'm saying just because the Quran never says that, or just because the Bible never says that, that doesn't mean that that's something that we know God can't be. Something that isn't going to be true. So they use these philosophical arguments as a ground to interpret things from the Quran. Because if the Quran or the Bible is true, then they should follow the things we see in reality. Right? So the point is that when they interpret things from the Quran or the Bible, they do it through the lens of what they can understand about the world. So I think
but this is where we say the limitations of humans is that this is you probably already know it. But because if you look through the lens of a Trinitarian at anything, everything is free. They say man is composed of flesh and spirit, and so thus it's evidence that Trinity exists. You know?
Trinitarianism is only to do with the structure of the Godhead, but they don't talk about anything. Some people.
No, some people do. Even the church father, there's threes in everything. You know what I mean? The church father. Yeah, I know, but this is what I'm saying. Like, use through the lens of something changes your view of the world. Yeah.
So what we need to do then is we need to look at the lens, see if the lens is actually accurate.
Yeah.
See if it's
But this is where in Islam we say Kalamullah. It's the speech of Allah. This is what we say, and this is our approach. So one is that human inquiry can attain ultimate truth and knowledge, like divine truth and knowledge. Whereas we say no, it can be useful as a tool to a certain degree, logic, maths, etc. But it has its limitations, like sifat khabariya, like we don't know exact sifat, the adjectives or descriptions.
There's some things that I think we can definitely know to its core, and other things that are maybe just yet to be discovered. There are philosophers that I read sometimes, and you know, before they come about, no one has ever spoken about what they've spoken about before, and it turns out to be true. And then you know, later on in years, physicists go back to philosophers.
But sometimes it has overturns as well.
I mean, that could,
Like it believed to be true.
well, not the whole entire.
Yeah. No, but even it could be the whole. We don't know, but it's because we jig elements of
What we
it.
can only do to be rational is to have your beliefs comport with the evidence that we have. And to be the most rational is to believe in the evidence that we have. The evidence that we have is the works of Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates.
Do you think from, let's say someone calls you now on your phone. Yeah, it's just a simple analogy. Yeah? Someone calls your phone and speaks to you. Do you think philosophically you can attain how that person looks like? In terms of attributes. If you can't do that with
What
it.
do you mean, like what the person, how the actually
Yeah,
looks?
attributes.
So I can tell that like there's going to be some things I can know about someone calling me.
Yeah, the voice,
It could be a person, you know,
it could even be AI, to be honest.
Yeah. We
So
can
if you can't derive that using philosophy, all of these technical tools, yeah, how can we use it? Like, 'cause I just want to ask.
Science.
No.
It's not the case it's impossible that I can figure out who the person is.
No, I mean their attributes, how they look, whether they have two legs. You can make the assumption it's a human. Do you get what I'm saying?
If they're human, but they're going to participate.
You can imagine that they've got two hands and two legs, but maybe they don't.
I know. What
You know,
saying,
yeah.
but this is just skepticism. I mean, there are some we can know. I refuse to.
No, but
things that we can know.
ليس كمثله شيء, because we're talking about divine being who's not like anything else. So this is where the complexity comes in. Do you get it?
That's fine. I mean, there were loads of arguments, like the Quran, for example, that proves at least some kind of first mover. Aristotle has an argument for a first mover. Aquinas has an argument for what God's being is. They don't say God is a being.
Could you just, what was the argument of anti-realists that some things are just in language, they don't exist in reality?
Oh, you're talking about.
Or some things exist in ideas.
Language, right?
Yeah, something like
It's like they don't really exist.
Well, I mean, that's not.
Do you think that could be?
That's definitely, there's a lot of.
So how do we determine? That's the thing. It's like.
It's a whole philosophy of.
But my point, that's what I'm saying. So we can appreciate the extent of it, of any discipline, but we have to know its limits. Like science.
No, that's true.
Yeah, science can't explain everything. It's dogmatic. You know that especially as a philosopher because the basis in it. And likewise, Ghazali wrote about this. You know Ghazali as well. You know his story.
Ghazali.
Yeah.
He's the first guy to think of the Kalam.
Abu Hamid. Yeah. Do you know what? You know how he died? They say.
I'm not too familiar with his life. I'm familiar with
Yeah,
his
so he becomes one of the most eminent persons in philosophy, as you know, and then he writes the incoherence of the philosophers, and thereafter he dies, not long after, complaining that he reached the withering heights of philosophy, but he didn't. I think at his time it was classed as thing, even up to, yeah, of course.
I mean, I don't know.
No, but you can't stand on you can't, yeah, but you can't, I'm not saying, not at his time, I mean. He said he reached, and even...
When was he alive?
I'm not here to promote Ghazali, that's not, my point is that he reached a very high level,
But he only delved into a very small part of philosophy.
And he goes, because I don't know what he actually did, but he goes on to say that there's limits of philosophy. And his story was he ended up going back to the Quran and the Hadith. He says, I returned to my people, like really rejected and dejected.
With his philosophy, he wouldn't deny, for example, that I don't know, God is a being like how we are. No,
I don't know.
He would never say something like that.
No. I said we don't believe like that.
But he would still keep his tradition in light of reading particular things.
And then how long we spoken for a while? Let's catch up afterwards or something. Continue. It's nice speaking to you, man. Yeah. Hamza, yeah, Hamza. What are you up?
Praise the Most High.
Yeah, Hamza.
I heard you say something about the scriptures when it comes to the Bible saying that God has hands and feet, stuff like that, eyes and ears.
Yeah.
He got angry, he got jealous, he's most graceful and stuff like that. I just wanted to, know. I just wanted to know because for me as a Messianic Jew, I do believe in Jesus. To let you know, I don't believe he's.
Oh, you're not Muslim?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you confused the heck out of me. I thought you were Muslim all this time.
So, yeah, Messianic Jew. So